The principle of over communication. Over communication. Over communicate. I can't say it enough. You're going to hear that so many times throughout this. Over communicate. But don't do it in a way that's going to be too detail oriented. Just making sure that you're always on top of it. Because you can, like I said in the last video, you can get busy and these things can fall through the cracks. So we're going to drill into over communication. So what over communication means at Tyson Media. So this is kind of why I drill it. So over communication doesn't mean bombarding clients with unnecessary emails and constant updates. It's about ensuring that your clients always feel informed, valued, and control of their projects. To me, at this point in my career, that feels like common sense, but it's very easy for people to begin, and I was there, to give too much or not enough. So over communicate. Why? It builds trust, eliminates anxiety, prevents misunderstandings, and increases retention. Those are the things that we're trying to avoid here. So we want, or not avoid, but we're trying to fix. So we want to build trust with regular updates. Eliminates, clients never have to wonder about the status of their project, right? And then misunderstandings are huge. I mean, relationships, I mean, I'm married. Like, you're running into misunderstandings all the time because you weren't communicating effectively, and you might assume they might think something, and you never want to leave things to assumptions, because if you assume, you've made an ass out of you and me, right? That's what they say. So we're going to prevent misunderstanding, and then we want to increase retention. We want to keep clients around for a long time. Some thoughts on how to provide frequent updates without overwhelming clients. Structure your updates. Break updates into clear sections: what's been done, what's coming next, and how it ties to their goals. You can take those three subjects and put those into your updates. So you're very clear. What's been done, what's coming next, how it ties to their goals. Don't be too technical. Depends on who you're talking to, but I would avoid that. Set communication cadence. So that's where you're going to basically set that in that communication channel or the onboarding call or whatever. You're going to talk about, okay, are we doing weekly emails, bi-weekly calls? And as the client grows, they're going to change. So it might be 2 meetings a week. It might be 1 meeting. It might be bi-weekly. And that goes into tailor to the client. So you want to make sure to communicate with the client, make sure those are the kind of updates they want. If they're just like, hey, I don't care what you do, which is like our dream client, right? And they just like create, and then I'll see what's on Instagram, or I'll see what's been posted or what ads are running. That's great. Pretty rare, but they are out there. So also communicate with them and just make sure that you know what do they prefer? What's their preference when it comes to updates? Be concise and purposeful. Avoid flooding clients with information. Stick to key points, actionable takeaways. Now we're going to talk about the tools and templates for proactive communication, which over communication, right? So we use email, and that's more professional. It's more formal, right? So we want to do, maybe we're giving updates on milestone reports. Maybe it's a weekly email update. So here's just an example template that you can use, which is cool. So project update of this week, body, progress so far, next steps, tie it in, feedback invitation. Always ask for feedback. Always leave the conversation with, you have any questions? Do you have anything you want to talk about further? Makes them feel involved. Then we've got Asana, which if you just took the course prior to this, we went through that entire process on how to use it. Depending on the client, they're in it or they're not, or you're inside their project management software. That's a good place to provide updates. And you don't even have to provide a lot of updates in Asana. When you move it through our funnel, those are updates. You're in editing. Now you're in feedback. Like, for me, that's what I see as an owner of my company, is I can see those updates without people actually having to give me updates. And then you've got things like Slack. You can also use text messages if someone prefers that. Some people like that. So this is just quick, real-time communication. So we're being fast, little things here and there. And then I got this I need to do, or here's this update for this project, and then find the actual project in Asana or in the email, just things like that. So integrating these tools into your workflow is just going to help with everything. So now we've got case studies, an example of over communicating and how it's secured some of the retainer deals that I currently have. In the early days of, let's just say, Honeylove, I was just someone that was coming in and I was just editing some things here and there for them. There wasn't a lot of work I was doing. But when they said, hey, I've got this last minute request on Slack, I'm responding within seconds. Like, my notifications are on, I'm on the ball, and I'm saying, I've got this, when do you need it by? And then they're like, we'll create the task. They throw the task in, set the due date, and then I'm responding. I mean, my thing has always just been responding super fast to anything and everything, and never letting things go longer than 10 to 30 minutes, which can be hard if you have a lot of clients, but it's possible. Using email, Slack, turn on your notifications, email, Asana. Like my phone's constantly getting emails even from Asana so that I don't miss anything. Emails from even Slack. I've got double notifications, right? Things that, and then I'm not missing anything. An example of how not over communicating had ruined a long-term relationship. We've got a client by the name of Primal, and when they were starting, they hired us to do this great video, and there was a lot of miscommunication on my part, but also this was like one of my first clients that actually got more team involved, and I wasn't in the initial discussions, and so they pitched a price, and then when they talked to me, I said, well, this is the actual price. So they went back and talked to them, but then there was this misunderstanding through the process, and there was 3 payments they were going to make, and they only thought they had to make 2. So I had to suck it up. I had to take a huge hit because they thought they were only paying for the 2 payments, not the 3rd. So I lost a 1/3 of what it should have costed, and I in fact lost money on that. So that's another pain point of not over communicating, is you're probably going to lose some money. And if you lose clients, you're losing money. So making sure that you add the processes in everything. So when you're creating a project, there's processes in Asana that are, okay, we're going to discuss this. We're going to talk about pricing. This is the budget. And then they can see the communication, and then that just fosters those relationships. Now each client that we work with, we establish all these systems and this over communication processes. So there's never misunderstandings. There will be, but it's all about owning your mistakes, making up for the problems in some way, and then never doing it again.